do things a little bit differently today. This is my 38-week pregnancy update. But since at this stage all of us are thinking about when the baby is going to arrive, I thought I would do the positive signs that labour is happening and then the not so positive signs that maybe labour isn't going to happen. And that's what's going to follow in this 38-week update.
You're my heart.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hills. Thank you so much for following along. I have really focused my channel on my pregnancy journey. I am a very busy working mum of currently 2 boys, and I have a 3rd boy on its way, hopefully soon. I eventually want to use this channel to talk about all things to do with career, life and parenting, but at the moment we just need to get through this pregnancy and hopefully deliver a healthy baby boy at the end. But not to worry, after that there will be lots of content on newborns and juggling 3 kids, etc, etc. Right now I am completely in the thick of impatience and wondering when the baby is going to come. Last week I spoke about really trying to appreciate the last moments of pregnancy as well as looking forward to the arrival of the baby. This week I'm just into full-on impatience because the symptoms and the signs of labour are so strong. I'm just really wondering why it's not happening. What I should say is that whilst I'm doing these updates once a week, on TikTok I'm actually doing these daily updates where I'm talking much more about the symptoms that I've experienced on the 10-day countdown to having this baby. So if you want to just follow along with how that is manifesting day by day, then do follow on Work.Life.Mum on TikTok. I will put the link below. So let's talk about the positive signs that labour is coming, and these are all of the things that we read about as well, and then some of the things that might counteract those positive signs. So first things first, I had a midwife and doctor appointment this week. This is actually the first time that I've seen a doctor. The hospital told me that I would see a doctor right at the very end of my pregnancy because when I had my 20-week scan, there was an indication that there was something not right with the uterine artery and therefore a higher risk of preeclampsia, or that the baby wasn't going to get what they needed from an oxygen and food supply perspective. But everything is okay. My blood pressure stayed low. I have not had any issues with the baby's growth, so it looks like I won't be under doctor care and this will be a low risk birth. But I am 41, and so the healthcare provider that I'm with does not want me to go over 40 weeks, and so on my due date I will be induced. So I am trying everything, every old wives' tale and remedy that there is out there to try and spark spontaneous natural induction rather than have to have chemical induction. But when I have been at the midwife and the doctor, both of them have said that the baby is fully in the right position, that he is engaged at 2/5 of engagement, so I think that is pretty much as engaged as he can be. It really feels like he's engaged because there is, you know, the lightning pain, but there's also just a lot of pressure. So that is a really positive sign that labour should be sooner rather than later. A not so positive sign is that I am pretty constipated. And I should say in this video there will be a lot of TMI, but I don't know if we can do an update without TMI at this level of pregnancy. Sorry, that was my doorbell. Yeah, I am anemic and I am taking iron tablets. The downside of the iron tablets, as I mentioned in last week's video, is that they have a tendency to bung you up, to make you constipated. And the good sign that labour is coming is that you clear out. And so you might actually find that you even have diarrhea. That is not a symptom that I have had this week. So that is not a positive sign that labour is due. On a slightly more positive sign, and again TMI warning, my mucus plug has definitely been coming out in stages. So whilst it's not been the bloody show, it's not that I've like very clearly been contracting and then had the ejection of the plug, over a few nights I've definitely seen that coming out. And so that would indicate that I am closer to labour. And not so positive is that it isn't, you know, very obvious that that is what it is. Everything I've read in the description sounds like it is it, but it's not making me feel massively reassured that it's coming out in dribs and drabs, so to speak. My 5-year-old just had a meltdown. Whew, now I'm out of breath. Another positive sign that labour is due is being super hormonal and emotional. I mean, honestly, take like a regular PMS and then quadruple it. Like some days I'm literally the happiest person alive, and then the next minute I can be crying and sobbing and I can't articulate why. Everything that I've read is that is a key indicator that labour is near, because you can't quite control your emotions and your hormones are going crazy. The other thing that I've heard is an indication that labour is approaching is that your weight gain will slow, or you might even lose a few pounds. And that has been the case with me. So I have stopped gaining weight, and actually over the last week I have lost a couple of pounds, around 3 pounds, which would make me nervous because in this pregnancy I've actually only put on, I think, 12 pounds now in total. It was 15 prior to that weight loss, which is not a considerable amount. But the baby is fine and healthy and growing, so I mean, there's no point in worrying too much about it. But that would again be a positive indicator that labour is fast approaching, no? A lot of people describe this burst of energy that you get prior to the baby coming, where you just have more energy than you've felt that you've had over the last few weeks previously, and you're nesting like crazy. And I have definitely had moments of that, but I've also had quite extreme exhaustion as well. So it really goes day to day. One day I can feel, you know, super energized. Yesterday, as an example, I did so many chores around the house. I tackled things on my to-do list that I have been avoiding doing for a long time. I went swimming and did 20 lengths at the end of the day, which somehow I had energy for, but to no avail, because other days I am really tired and I could happily lie on the sofa all day and watch Netflix. And then the other big and final indicator is cramping, Braxton Hicks. I have definitely had an increase in that, to the point where it's woken me up at night a few times. It seems to have been building a level of regularity and then it vanishes. So the positive is that it's happening. The downside is that it just doesn't have any level of consistency. And what I have listened to with many other women's birthing stories on YouTube is that sometimes they've had that for weeks leading up to actually going into labour or being induced. But then at the same time, I have read some other things that have indicated that that maybe happens for 24 to 48 hours before labour, and then labour happens. One final thing slightly connected to cramping is the feeling of spasms in my upper legs, kind of around the groin area. This is apparently a sign that all the ligaments are kind of starting to relax in preparation for the baby coming. So that's a really unusual feeling. You feel like you're about to pull all your muscles in your legs. So when that happens, like I have to stand still and wait for it to pass. It's a very, very odd feeling. I don't know if anyone else has experienced something like that. If you have, please do leave it in the comments below, because I'd love to know if that has led to labour happening for you. So there are probably lots and lots of different signs that labour is coming or not coming, and different symptoms, but those are the ones that really stand out for week 38. I'm actually officially 39 weeks today. I know that either way, whether this happens naturally or not, I will be having this baby in a week's time. They just won't let me go over. So if it doesn't happen, you know, within the next couple of days, I'm gonna stop all the old wives' tales, and I'm just going to try and relax and enjoy it, because I know that either way, I'll be induced and then the baby will come. Let me show you the bump. I said this last week, maybe for the last time. I doubt it. What I should say is that I am also casual today, so I'm just in joggies and a top. I don't have the energy for a cute dress or anything like that. But I don't know if you can see any kind of dropping action happening. I think it's probably very much the same as last week. I'm measuring at bang on 38 weeks when the midwife has measured me, so right on the 50th percentile, and this is from the front. So as I said, for daily updates, please do follow along on TikTok. In the meantime, on YouTube, I am going to record a couple of videos just in case something does happen early. So I'm going to record what's in my hospital bag, and I'm also going to record some tips on, you know, what it is that I have been trying out to try and induce this labour. Again, you can find some of them on TikTok. Some of these techniques that I've been trying, I've not heard of before, and that is because I am married to a Turkish man, and there are all kinds of remedies that exist in Turkey that haven't made it over here. So I have been trying a bit of, you know, UK, US induction techniques, and then also a little bit from the Middle East. So very global. Have a really lovely week. If you are pregnant right now, if you're at this stage of pregnancy, I would love to hear how you're getting on. I love when I get comments from women that are at this very same stage. It makes me feel like you have sisterhood and a community going, and I can't wait to see what happens with their journeys. For lots more content, please do follow and subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications, because you never know, maybe the notification will be that he has arrived. Have a lovely week, and I will chat to you soon. Bye bye.
I want you for myself every single day. You said